Assalamu alaikum. Is my voice clear? I'll wait for more students to join. Okay, so today's session about histology of the epithelium. Describe the general characteristics of the epithelial tissue and give examples of the sites of each type of epithelium. Okay, so can you tell me what you know about epithelium? Please type. The surface tissue. That's it. It can be covering organs. Also the internal structures. Skin is an example. Okay, one from the four. B. Okay. Okay. So everyone has at least heard about this word epithelium, huh? Now, if you want to study the cells, the tissues, or the organs by examining tissue slides, excuse me, under the light microscope, it is called as histology or a microscopic anatomy. Okay, so now you want to study the cells, and we are going to see it under the tissue, under the light microscopy. Okay, we have to do some procedures, we have to stain them, and then we can study the cells. It's called as histology or microscopic anatomy. Okay, now epithelium consists of simple. Okay, can you tell me what is the meaning of simple? Anybody? Simple epithelium. What do you mean by simple epithelium? Okay, and next, what do you mean by stratified epithelium? Normal. Normal wala abnormal. What is this? Abdullah, yes, very good. Yani you accept you don't know anything. Don't worry, we will learn. Okay. Hmm. Casual. See the girl's answer. Yes, Faris, good. One layer of cells. Okay. One layer of cells is called as simple epithelium. Okay, you can write down if you want. So simple epithelium, yani you have just one layer of cells. Okay, so now next, stratified. Come to stratified. Tell me what is the meaning of stratified? Opposite of simple. Class opposite of simple is stratified. Now tell me. Arranged? No. Yani Faris said one layer, but then it can be many layer. Yes, very good. Class easy. So more than one layer is called as stratified. Okay, repeat by yourself. Yani more than one layer is stratified, and if it is one layer, it is simple epithelium. Clear? Okay, good. Now pseudo stratified. Okay, now what is the meaning of pseudo? Ish meaning pseudo. Yalla, right. Lie. Okay, good. Another word. Mm-hmm. You talk. Okay, fake. Yes, very good. Huh. Unusual. This word unusual, please then delete. Okay. No, unusual. False. Yes, false is a good term. Okay, okay, fine. So what is it? Why do we say something like false stratification? Uh, like fake stratification, according to what you said. So what does it mean is that for your eyes, okay, for your eyes, the layer will look like there is many layers. One, okay, the layer will look like there is many layers. So you will say it is stratified, but actually it is only one layer. The truth is that there is only one layer, bas wahid layer, but it will look like many layers to you. Okay, I will explain to you why. Okay, yeah, I will explain why. Okay, inshallah in detail. But did you understand the meaning? Yeah, pseudo stratified means what? Please write. What do you mean by pseudo stratified? Actually, what is it? No, don't write false layer. This will be confusing. It is actually one layer, but looks like many layers. Okay. Okay. Yes, looks like many layers. Actually, it is one layer. Okay, thank you. Okay, alhamdulillah. So now this is basic idea you have now. Okay, very good. Let's move simple. So in simple epithelium, how many layer? One layer. Okay, now simple epithelium, there are types. Okay, so what are the types? Okay, you can read them. So what is this? Awal squamous epithelium. Okay, so if I want to name this, we will say simple squamous. Simple squamous. Yana ish meaning it is wahid layer and the shape of the cell is squamous. I will explain what is squamous. What do you want me to write? Halas, you can't write one layer. Simple is one layer. Stratified means many layer. Okay, and pseudo stratified means one layer looks like many layer. Okay, please write yourself, and you should do something. Okay, but then okay, yalla, let's go. Squamous. Squamous means it. The name is simple squamous. It is one layer, but it is squamous cells. Next is simple columnar. So it is one layer, but it is column shape. It is column in shape. Next is simple cuboidal. It is one layer, but it is shape is like cuboidal. It is like cuboidal. Okay, clear? The word is clear. So simple means wahid layer, and the shape, but depending on the shape, we give these names: squamous, columnar, or cuboidal. I'm going to draw and show you. Don't worry. Yes, after the shape. Okay, now come to stratified. In stratified, what are the types? Okay, this is non-keratinized squamous. Okay, non-keratinized squamous stratified epithelium. Okay, so there is something called as keratinized layer. Inshallah, I will show you how it looks. Okay, and the reason why it is present also I will tell you. Okay, so if it is there, we call it as keratinized squamous epithelium. Keratinized squamous stratified epithelium. If this keratinized layer is not there, we say non-keratinized squamous stratified epithelium. Is it clear? Okay, because I'm going to show you, don't worry. Yes, and let's go to the last one. Ismo transitional layer. Okay, it is transitional layer. Ish meaning transitional. Transition means what? Show your English lecture also going on, huh? Changes shape. Yes, correct. So it changes shape. Yeah, one form to another. Yes, correct. So I will tell you where it is present. So something, and there is some change. Okay, that's why it's called transitional layer, and it is stratified. It is stratified. Okay. So Alhamdulillah, this is clear for you. Yalla, let's move. This is all what we're going to see today. Okay. So the epithelium consists of simple, and then you have in simple, you have simple squamous, simple columnar, simple cuboidal, depending on the shape. Then you have pseudo stratified, then you have stratified, and in stratified you have non-keratinized squamous, and then you have keratinized squamous, and you have transitional. Okay, clear?
Doctor, stratified, what the meaning?
Yalla, someone type what is the meaning of stratified? Many layer. Okay, Kida, you remember simple means one layer. Opposite of simple, don't write complicated, it means many layer. Okay, yes. Okay, now let's move. I hope it's clear. Okay, now you'll draw with me. Okay, so now what do we need to draw first? We will draw the simple. Okay, so I'm going to draw a simple layer. Simple means how many wahid layers, huh? Wahid. So it's simple. So simple, I'm going to first draw what? Squamous. Simple squamous. So this is how the simple squamous will look like. Don't draw on my screen, huh? Okay, simple squamous. And where is my nucleus? The nucleus is flat. Okay, it's flat, close to the base. So close to this line is called basement membrane. This line is called basement membrane. I'll show you where. This line is called basement membrane. Don't worry, I have diagram for everything, but it is good if you will one time draw with me so you will understand what I'm going to show you. Okay, so basement membrane, understand? This line below is more basement membrane. Yeah, edgeless on basement membrane. Okay, so you know why it's called basement, because see the tahat, the floor is called what? Basement. Okay, so this is called simple squamous. Simple squamous. Okay, you write the spelling and everything by yourself. Okay, simple squamous. Now coming to the next, what I should draw? Simple columnar. Zay kida columnar. Hadismo columnar. Understand? Okay, so the length will be more than the width. Length will be more than the width. Okay, now we'll put the nucleus inside. Okay, let's put the nucleus. So nucleus is oval in shape and close to the basement also, but it's oval in shape. You know what's oval, right? Like this. Zebaida. Okay, oval in shape. Okay, what is this? What is this? Which one? Yeah, this is simple columnar. This is simple columnar. Okay, I should use this. Huh? Okay, I'll make your life easy. Okay. Okay, anyway, I already showed you in the previous one. Okay, and spelling, everything is there. You can take from there. So, okay, the simple squamous because one layer. This is simple columnar because it is also one layer, but the shape is like column-like. Okay, next coming to okay, next is okay. It's not changed the color. Okay, simple cuboidals. Huh? Simple cuboidal. So we will make like square. Now just make square. Okay. Okay, and now the nucleus. Let us draw the nucleus. Nucleus is in the center. Okay, and it is rounded nucleus in the center. Understand? Okay. Okay, so the word cuboidal is clear or no? Say square like, square. Okay, cuboidal. So don't say only cuboidal. You have to say simple cuboidal. Simple cuboidal because wahid layer and shape cuboidal. Okay, simple cuboidal. And one layer, and if it's like column, it's called simple columnar. If it's one layer and like squamous, it's called simple squamous. Okay, clear? Okay, next, next what I should draw? Stratified. Okay, let us draw stratified. Okay, doctor, the nuclear in simple squamous is flat. Yes, nucleus in simple squamous is flat. Agreed. Okay, actually there is difference in the nucleus. In squamous, the nucleus will be flat. In columnar, the nucleus will be oval in shape, and in cuboidal, it is going to be round in shape, round, and it's in the center. Okay, it will be round and it will be in the center. Is it clear about the nucleus I'm telling you? Fine. Now let us draw the stratified. Yes. Okay, let us draw stratified. So now stratified means I will have how many layers? many layers. Okay, so the first layer and then close to the basement membrane, it will be like the shape will be like columnar. It will be like columnar. Is it clear? Okay. On top of that, we will draw cuboid. Clear? How many cuboid layer? 2, 3, 4, how much ever you want to draw. Okay, please make it cuboid, huh? Okay. Okay, clear? Okay, so class my layers. Okay, and then now 3 layers have come up. Okay, you can draw more also if you want. And on top of that, it will be squamous. Okay, 1 layer of squamous. Okay, now let me just put the nucleus inside. So what am I drawing, boys? Somebody's asking, huh? Yeah, okay. It is stratified layer. Okay, what I'm drawing is stratified. I didn't tell what more details, but just stratified. Okay, so the first one is a columnar, and then here you can put the you can put the nucleus inside. Okay. Okay.
Doctor,
Mm.
in the exam they give me like this any photo and ask me what is this?
Wait, I will answer your question. Okay, show you. Wait. Okay, so this is clear. Okay, that is the nucleus is there, and then here it will be like the flat and all that. Okay, fine. So this is what we are drawing is actually the stratified layer. Oh, why it didn't come? Okay. Stratified layer. Okay, clear? Okay. Now, if I have okay, now this is stratified. Okay, and we can even call it as stratified squamous. Okay, just to make it easy, stratified squamous. Okay, now if we have a layer on top, okay, the name of this layer is called keratinized layer. It is called keratinized layer. Okay, then the name will be keratinized squamous stratified layer. Okay, keratinized squamous stratified layer. Is it clear? Okay, if this layer is not there, this on top the layer is not there, what we will give the name? It is called non-keratinized. Okay, is it clear what I'm trying to explain? So if the keratin layer is there, we call it as keratinized stratified squamous layer, and if the keratin layer is not there, we say it as non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. Yes, why they say no? What is the problem? Okay, so like stratified is clear. The word stratified is clear. We say stratified squamous. Okay. Yes, I will tell you what is keratinized. Just wait. I am going to show you slides. Okay, don't worry. But I'm telling there is something on top. It's called keratinized layer. So if that is there, we call the name keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. If that keratinized layer is not there, we say non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium.
Dr. Jim, we can just say squamous?
No. You have to tell this full name, what I just told you. Okay. And I give you the reason. And
I mean, Doctor, non-keratinized, we can say squamous only, and the layer on the top, if it's not there, we can say stratified squamous.
My dear, I don't know who's talking, but see, we cannot give the name according to us, yeah, because some anatomist has already found these names. Okay, so khalas, you have to do what they say. Is it clear? Okay, so if there is a keratin layer, it's called keratinized squamous stratified layer and non-keratinized stratified squamous layer if the keratin layer is not there. Okay, now what do I do? Okay, now I have to show you what is transitional, but in a short way I will show you, and then we will keep moving on to the slides. Okay, so okay, transitional, like this is the top layer I'm just showing you over here. Okay, so for example, if it is the transitional layer, sorry, okay, the top layer, it's little rounded cells. Okay, it's rounded cells. Okay, I'm not, I'll take time to draw all of them. Anyway, the top layer is rounded. Okay, now where is this transitional layer seen? The transitional layer is seen related to the urinary system. Okay, so you can remember the example urinary bladder. Okay, example for transitional layer is what? Urinary bladder. Sab ish mawjood fil urinary bladder. Yalla. Urine. Okay, okay, so nobody answered till now. Yes, was urinary bladder. Please someone write in Arabic. What is it? What is there in the urinary bladder?
Transitional.
Transition epithelium. No, what is the content I was asking? Ish mawjood. What is the function? Urine. Yes, very good. Okay. So now if the urinary bladder is empty means what? There is no urine. Okay. That time this top layer will be kida rounded. Okay. The top layer will be rounded. If the urine, it is filled with urine, then the top layer will become, and there is lots of urine over here. So the top layer will become flat. It will become flat. You understand what I'm trying to say? There is no place. Okay. So it gets squeezed, or these cells on top, they get squeezed. Okay. So if the urine is full in the urinary bladder, the top layer will become like squamous. Okay. And if it is empty, the urinary bladder is empty, it will be rounded. The cells will be rounded. Now you know why the name is transitional epithelium. Yeah, because it keeps changing. Okay. According to the content of the urine. Is it clear? Okay, now only thing I have not explained is pseudo-stratified. Inshallah, I will show you with the slides. Okay, I hope everything is clear. Now we move on to the slides. Okay, don't worry, everything is explained very well in the slides. I have diagrams, everything. Okay, okay, let's move. There are certain rules you need to follow when you are going to see a histological section. Okay, so if you have a tube-like organ, or let's say blood vessel, artery, vein, wakida, or duct. Okay, if you're going to cut it like through it, okay, vertically through it, it's called as longitudinal plane. It's called longitudinal plane. And inside, when you see the section, it will look like this. It will look like this. Okay, if you are going to see the if you're going to cut it through the transversely, okay, you're going to see it like this, and this is called transverse plane. This is called transverse plane. If you're going to cut it kida in an angle, it's called oblique plane. It's called oblique plane. Understood? So we have three planes: longitudinal plane, transverse plane, and oblique plane. So when I'm showing you section, sometimes I will say longitudinal section. When I say longitudinal section, means you're going to see something like this. And if it is a transverse section, you will see it this way. Mostly we use transverse section. Okay. So just remember like how sometimes slides will look different. So you need to understand. Okay. Next. There are different stains which we can use. So how do we actually see these tissues? So we have to take small bits of tissue, or we take a small part of it, and then we have to fix it in formalin. Inshallah, in POD, in pathology lab, they will show you the details how to exactly do it. You may even see how they are doing it, but I'm just telling you, okay, the orally, so you can visualize it. So they take the tissue, then they preserve it, then they undergo some procedure, and they will finally fix it in wax, in paraffin wax. Okay, you know what's wax, right? Please type in Arabic if you need. Okay, and after it is fixed, the tissue is fixed in wax, then they will cut it. They will make small sections, okay, thin sections of the tissue. Okay, now if you will try to observe the tissue under the microscope, you cannot see anything. Okay, then we have to put stain. Ish stain, ze dye. Okay, you have to put different dyes. Okay, you use hair dye and it's to put color. Okay, so they use dyes. Okay, and then we will see the structures inside. Okay, this is how, mashallah, we are going to see the slides. I'm just saying, when you see the slide, it has undergone so many procedures. Okay. So the name of the stain is, read the name, hematoxylin and eosin stain. Ishusmo? hematoxylin and eosin stain. It is the most commonly used. Okay, so it's very easily you can say blue stain and pink stain, but that's not correct. The name of the stain is hematoxylin. It gives the blue color. So in this photograph, okay, in this photograph, can you see the dark blue? Okay, what did you see? Dark blue. Okay, these are actually the nucleus which you're seeing. Can you see all the structures which are dark blue in color? Okay, so all this is the nucleus what you're seeing. Understand? Yeah, so the nucleus is seen dark blue in color. Why? Because it is stained by hematoxylin. Okay, and what else? The other structures which you're seeing, the pink color, okay, will either be the cytoplasm. Okay, so around this nucleus, can you see the outer? It's pink. So that is the cytoplasm, because it is stained by eosin. It is stained by eosin. Okay, and there are some fibers over here. Can you see some fibers? It's all in a pink color fibers. So that is collagen fiber. And there is also some smooth muscles over here. Okay, also takes up the pink stain, all by eosin. Is it clear? So one just exception you can remember, the hematoxylin stain gives the blue color to the nucleus. All the others, cytoplasm, collagen fiber, muscle, they take up the pink stain. Okay, it's from the eosin. Is it clear? What are the other stains present? They are called Mason's trichrome, per acid Schiff reaction. Okay, there are different stains, but we will only study the hematoxylin and eosin. And sometimes we may show this, but we will focus only on hematoxylin and eosin stains. And that in short, we will write H and E. Uktavesh, H and E, and just short form. Okay, is it clear? Any doubts in this?
Doctor, I say for this slide, hematoxin give you blue color for nucleus and pink for engine. صح؟
Sir.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Masalan, if I want to ask a question from this slide, how I can ask? So the nucleus will be stained by which color? Okay, if I want to ask like this, or the hematoxylin stain will stain which of the following structures?
Doctor, what about the red stain? Is
No,
it considered eosin?
No, it is the same. It is eosin only. It is because of, because interaction between both hematoxylin and eosin, and akida show a dark color depending on the tissue. Okay.
So it will be eosin.
Yeah, it's eosin only.
Okay, thank you.
Who is saying, what do you want to repeat on the diagram? The dark blue, did you see those dots? Those are the nucleus, and the rest all, whatever you're seeing, it's by the eosin stain. Is it clear? The nucleus is stained by hematoxylin, and the rest is mainly by eosin. Okay. Okay, let's move. Where is the other stains? No, just know them. Like, and if someone says it's Mason trichrome, so it's another stain, not hematoxylin eosin. See, the reason is because hematoxylin eosin, and if you see this photo, how does it look? And basically two color, you will say blue. It's not the blue actually. You should say it's hematoxylin stained. And what is the pink? It is the eosin stained. You understand now? So this is the two colors which you are seeing. When you use the other, Mason's trichrome, the other, you will see green. You will see other colors also. Understand? Now clear? Yeah, let's go. Okay, now this, I think somebody answered this. Okay, types of tissues based on location are epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue, and nervous tissue. Okay. It's important to save the direction in the picture. I don't understand the meaning. No, I'm just explaining, and I'm just pointing out and explaining to you. Just want you to understand this. Okay. Okay. So if anyone, when you see a photograph and if you see something dark blue, you should understand, this is the nucleus. Okay. Fine. Types of tissues based on the location: epithelial, connective tissue, muscular, and nervous. And today we are dealing with epithelial tissue. Okay, so let's move. Now in epithelial tissue, we said about simple epithelium, we said about stratified and everything, alhamdulillah. Now we have some modification, some special surface modification, okay. So I hope you've heard this word cilia. Okay, this is cilia. Okay, what is it? It is motile. It means it moves. The cilia moves. Okay, and it is seen in the uterine tube. What is uterine tube? Another name, fallopian tube. Okay, fallopian tube. When mojud close to the uterus. Okay, close to the uterus. Okay, also in some part of the uterus. But you can remember uterine tube as an example and the trachea as an example for cilia. Okay. Okay, now can you think why in the uterine tube we have cilia and in the trachea we have cilia? Yalla, right. To move the oocyte. Yes, correct. Okay. So in the uterine tube, we needed to move the oocyte. In the trachea, because we need to move the mucus up and down. Okay, correct. That's it. Okay. So the cilia is basically helping you, and remember the two locations. I think with this you will remember where it is. Okay. Yeah, with the function you can remember very well. Now let's go to microvilli. What is oocyte? Somebody explain to him what is oocyte. Okay. So microvilli. Microvilli is small non-motile projection. Ish meaning non-motile means it does not move. It just does not move. So that function we don't need. Okay. It is present in the absorptive cells of the small intestine. Okay. So if you remember the function of small intestine, and if the small intestine is there, what does it do? It is basically for some amount of digestion and absorption, basically for absorption. So when you have absorption, we need to increase the surface area. Do you understand? The food is there and you need to increase the surface area. So like if I will spread out, if I make it kida straight, it is going to increase. Okay. So we need to increase the surface area, and that's why we need microvilli. Microvilli example in the small intestine, Clear? And it is also there in the kidney. Okay. In tubule ismo, have you heard the word PCT? Okay, it's called proximal convoluted tubule in the kidney. Also the same, it is helping for absorption. It helps in absorption. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay, good. Okay, good. Now let's go to sterocelia. Okay, the next one is sterocelia. Okay, so what are they? They are also long. They are non-motile. Ish meaning non-motile. Non means yana not. Non-motile, and it does not move. And there is branched microvilli. And there is many branching. And it covers the cells in the epididymis and vas deferens. Okay, can you tell me which organ and it's related to which system? Yes, very good. Male reproductive system. Okay, so you will see epididymis and vas deferens has sterocelia. The why is it present? It is present because the function of the same microvilli, which we studied before this, and sterocelia is absorption. So it is going to absorb. Okay, so inshallah you will learn the details of the the testicular fluid like later on. What it does, it concentrates it and all that. Okay, inshallah, clear. So cilia mojud vein in two places. You have uterine tube and trachea. Remember this, and it is motile. It moves. Okay. Microvilli is non-motile and mainly in the small intestine and PCT of the kidney. Sterocelia in the epididymis and vas deferens. Okay. So I hope this is clear.
Doctor, how I study this subject? The name and where I can find?
Yes. Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, now coming to the details. Remember, I already told you this. Okay, but now we will see each one in detail. Okay, so coming to simple squamous. Okay, let us go, look down. Okay, look at the diagram. Look at the epithelium. Do you agree? Like the way I drew, is it same? It looks same or no? Huh? Okay, the shape. Look at the shape. Okay, look here. This is the epithelium. I will ask you how many layer is there? This pink one. How many layer? Okay, it is one layer. It is only one layer. Okay, why do we see so many cells on top like this over here? This is actually a surface view. Yeah, you're seeing from above. Okay, surface view. And look at the nucleus. It's like flat. Do you notice the nucleus? It's kind of flat. Yes. Okay, so it's one layer. It is flattened cells. Yeah, it is squamous. Very good. And full name. And then, now, if I call you Bas Abdullah, you don't like it. So I should say Abdullah Al-Deri. So I need the full name. Understand? So you have to say simple squamous. Okay. Yes. Yes. Very good. Very good. Okay. Okay. And now where is this epithelium sitting on? Aegilis on what? On basement membrane. Did you see the membrane? Had a dark black line. Had this more basement membrane. Agree? Yes. Okay. Very good. Now you can remember certain places where it is there. Let us go. Okay, so it is there in the endothelium of cardiovascular system. What does it mean by endothelium? You have capillaries. Have you heard of capillaries? So it is between the arteriole and the venule. Okay, so these are small, very thin blood vessels. Okay, it is only single cell thickness. Okay, it is made up of simple squamous epithelium. What does it do? Why is it mojud? Because there is passive transport of fluid, nutrients, and metabolites. Okay, so I'm telling you, like, where is it? It is in the endothelium of the cardiovascular system, basically in the capillaries. Okay, so remember, capillaries have simple squamous epithelium, and function, it's a way it does transport of fluid, nutrients, and metabolites. I hope you know what it is being, there is exchange, gas exchange over here. Yes, oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood. There is some exchange happening here. Okay, next, coming to the next point is, I hope you know the lungs. Okay, so in the lungs, have you seen the shape like this? Have you seen something like grapes? Have you seen inside? It's called air sac. Okay, it's called air sac. Okay, the actual name is alveoli. Ismoish, alveoli. So there is alveoli inside the lung. There is alveoli inside the lung. So it's one of the terminal unit of the lung. Okay. Okay, now think and tell me, what is this alveoli? It is rich in what kind of air? You take in what? Which air? Hawa, huh? Oxygenated, yes. So it is rich in oxygenated. So these are rich in oxygenated. Okay. Now let me draw a capillary over here. The capillary. Now this blood vessel, this capillary, it is rich in what kind of air? Okay. Yeah. Okay. It is deoxygenated. Hina deoxygenated. Very good. It is deoxygenated. Okay. So let me say it in another way. The oxygen is less over here. Okay, deoxygenated blood. Okay, so now between the two, this is a blood, this is a capillary here, this is a capillary, and this is a lung. So between the two, there is going to be gas exchange. There's going to be gas exchange. Do you understand? So for this exchange to occur, lazim, the alveoli is lined by simple squamous epithelium. Even the capillary should be simple squamous epithelium. That's how it is going to happen. Okay, so there is gas exchange, okay, or transport across the thin walled capillary and alveoli in the lungs. Is it clear? Good. Okay. Okay. Okay, now another example, what we're seeing here is actually the kidney cortex. Kidney cortex. Okay, you know the kidney has cortex and medulla. Okay, this, can you see this? Can you see this green color circle over here? Okay, I'll just draw some circles and please tell me whether you're able to see the epithelium. Can you see the simple squamous epithelium over here? This is how it looks like in real, under the microscope. This is how it looks. Are you able to appreciate or no? Bas wahid layer and the nucleus is kida thick. Okay, so yeah, this is how the simple squamous epithelium will look like. Okay, it is seen in the kidney. It is seen in the kidney, and this is called kidney cortex. And more specifically, this is also called as Bowman's capsule. Bowman's capsule. Okay, so right now just remember the name kidney cortex, and then we can see later details. Okay, and this is a type of Mason's trichrome. They have used another stain for this. Okay. Okay, fine. Is it clear? So here again, like if somebody is going to, before somebody asks me, what you need to know, simple squamous epithelium and mojud in which one? In alveoli of the lung, in capillary of the cardiovascular system. Okay, and also remember the cortex, kidney cortex. Okay, clear? All the points are clear? Okay, move next. Simple cuboidal epithelium. Simple cuboidal epithelium. Okay. Okay, so this is, now let us draw it. Where is the simple cuboidal epithelium? So are you able, did you see the green box? Okay. Okay, can you see the cells over here? Are you able to appreciate? Look at the nucleus. Look at the nucleus. How does the shape look like? Huh? Okay, the rounded, right? Rounded and dark. Yeah. Oh, okay. It's dark and round, yes. So this is actually the cuboidal epithelium. It is the cuboidal epithelium. How many layer plus wahid layer? Can you, how many circles are you seeing? Kida bas wahid layer, sa? So that is why it is called simple cuboidal epithelium. Simple cuboidal epithelium. So actually you cannot see the cell membrane. You can't actually see the outer border. All you will basically see is the nucleus. With the nucleus you can make out. Okay. Understood? So this is simple cuboidal epithelium, and what you're seeing is the thyroid gland. Thyroid gland. Okay, and again what I drew there, remember the square? Okay, and look at the nucleus in the center. Okay, so that's how it is, and on the basement membrane. Okay. Now, what are the other functions? It protects the duct. It does some transportation, some absorption in kidney tubules. In kidney tubules, that is PCT, DCT, and all that. At least remember thyroid gland, example for simple cuboidal. Is it clear? What is the meaning of squamous? Squamous means flat. Okay, good. Yeah, let's move. Okay, now do you see the green circle again? What does it look like? Is it clear? Yeah, look at the shape of this cell. Are you able to see the column? Okay, and appreciate the nucleus. Look at the nucleus. What is the shape of the nucleus? The oval shape. Remember, oval by the oval shape, and close to the basement membrane. Actually, here no, it's going kida. This is the basement membrane. What I'm drawing. Understood? So the nucleus is close to the basement membrane. It is oval in shape, and if I draw the entire boundary, it's like this, the column. Okay, fine. So let us see again in this diagram. Yalla, this is my column shaped cell, and this is my nucleus inside. Okay, good. On the basement. Now there is something special. Look at this region on this side. Okay, it is covered by cilia. It is covered by cilia. So if it is covered by cilia, what name I can say? Ciliated columnar epithelium. And if there is no cilia, I will say non-ciliated. If I want to say, I will say non-ciliated columnar epithelium. Is it clear? Any problem with the name? Okay. Okay. And now when Mojud, actually the example for simple columnar is very good, and you can just remember like GIT. Okay, so fill GIT, you have stomach, you have small intestine, and you have large intestine. So this is the example for simple columnar epithelium. Okay, I hope this is actually a diagram of the stomach. Okay, and it is hematoxylin eosin stained. Okay, so are you able to appreciate everything which we just said? So the nucleus nice and blue in color because it is taking up the hematoxylin stain, and the cell cytoplasm, and if there's any other connective tissue and all that will take up the eosin stain. Okay. Okay, let's move on. I hope if you have doubts, you write, otherwise it's okay. Okay. Do you have next hour? Are you free, or you have the next hour? Lecture in the next hour? Hello? Are you writing? Okay. You have. Okay, fine. Okay. Let me quickly try to wind up. What is the next lecture? Physiology. Okay. Okay. Inshallah, we'll finish. Okay. Now coming to the word pseudostratified. This is the one which I didn't explain, sir. Now let us see the explanation for this. Okay, now look at our cells which we drew before also. This is what columnar cells. So simple, columnar cells. Okay. Now look at another cell over here. Okay, another cell. Okay, it is looking say empty. Okay, no no pink color. And the name of this cell is goblet cell. Ishusmo goblet cell. There is another cell, Sagira, and that is called basal cells. That is called basal cells. Is it okay? Now you're seeing three types of cells over here. You have the normal, the simple columnar cells. Okay, you see goblet cells, and you're seeing basal cells. Okay. Now focus on the nucleus. Focus on the nucleus. So some nucleus is here at this location. Okay, at this location, and then some is going down. Kida, sa. So it's like as if the nucleus, if I'm drawing the nucleus, it goes up and down, up and down. Okay. So what happens is, if you will look at this section, and if you look at this section, actually how many layer is there? Huh? Only one layer, yes or no? Only one layer. But the arrangement of the nucleus at different levels, it will give the appearance of many layers. Arrangement of nucleus at different levels will give the appearance of many layers. Is it clear or no for your eyes? How does it look? Does it look like you will confuse to say that it is one layer? Okay, now look at this diagram. It's very it's good in this diagram. So see the nucleus again. This is actually a goblet cell which you're seeing. Okay, had the goblet cell, had the empty cell. This is goblet cell. Okay, then this is your columnar cell. Okay, and this one on the base is your basal cell. Okay, now let me just trace the nucleus. Okay, now I will. Okay, let me use another color for you. Just okay. So if I'm tracing the nucleus, the fork down, it is going up and down. Okay, so when you will just see it, what do you say? You will say wahid layer, well, you will say many layer. Tell me. Look like many layers. Okay, so that's why we call it as false stratification. False stratification. Okay, so actually it is only one layer, but it is in a false stratification or pseudo stratified layer. Is it clear now? Okay, let me go to the details. It is seen in trachea and bronchi. Okay, which have cilia, which we already said, and the reason because it helps in cleansing the inspired air. So when you are breathing, you're breathing in oxygen, you may breathe in dust particles, you may even breathe in corona. Okay, whatever you're breathing in, it has to be cleaned. Okay, and then it is going to be transported, okay, as mucus into the oral cavity, and then you will spit it out, you will expel it out. Okay, so if there is any something which should not enter into the lungs, it will be formed like mucus, and then you're going to expel it out, you're going to bring it out of the body. Okay, then the uterine tube for the conduction of oocyte. Okay, oocyte means the egg or ovum. Okay, okay, you can translate in Arabic if you need. And the sperm, if there is going to be fertilization, also that has to be transported, okay, or conducted, okay, across the surfaces. Okay, so that's the reason we have pseudo stratified ciliated columnar epithelium in trachea, bronchi, and uterine tubes. Is it clear? We have cilia. Okay, and did you see the cilia over here? This is the cilia. Did you see the cilia? Like they hair like, shire like. Okay. Okay, thank you. Let me move on. What is it called false for? Because you see, in like I showed you simple columnar very clearly. I showed you in stomach, very easy it was. Okay, I showed you if you remember the previous slide, simple columnar, just kida wahid layer. And are you listening to me? Okay, yes. Okay, I think the other doctor has entered. Okay. Wait. Are you listening? Are you able to hear me? Yes. Okay, okay. Let me just continue fast. Let me just finish this. Okay. If you see the doctor, I just want to say 5 minutes. Okay. Fine. Now pseudo-stratified ciliated columnar epithelium. Okay, and it is seen here. That's clear now. Let me move to the next. I think I'll not be able to finish. Okay. Okay, stratified squamous non-keratinized epithelium. Okay, in this stratified squamous non-keratinized epithelium, okay, location I'll tell you first. It's in the esophagus, vagina, oral cavity. Okay, the reason why it is there, it helps in withstanding wear and tear. Okay, for example, oral cavity, you take chips, you take biscuit, you take different kind of foods, everything, it should not get torn. Okay, so it has to withstand all this, and that's why we have the stratified squamous epithelium. To look at the epithelium, it is stratified squamous epithelium. Look at the one which we drew also before, the same stratified squamous, but it is non-keratinized. Hina, there is a layer which is missing, that's non-keratinized. That's why we say non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. So it's multi-layered and it helps to protect. Okay, right. Next. Oops. Next, I will just show you the keratin layer, how it looks. Look at the dark, the blue, what you're seeing, no? This is called keratin layer. This is the keratin layer, okay? So this is the keratin layer, which, sorry. This is the keratin layer which you're seeing. So the name will be stratified squamous keratinized epithelium. Okay, and example is skin. So easy to remember. The skin, example for stratified squamous keratinized layer. Okay. And the topmost layer is also called as stratum corneum. It has dead cells inside. Even if you don't remember this name, no problem. Just remember skin. Example for stratified squamous keratinized epithelium. Okay. Formation of dead keratin layers for keratinization on the skin provides additional protection from abrasion and bacterial invasion. Okay, so obviously your skin is going to protect you from all the external sources. Okay, injury, dust, bacteria, everything. Okay, so why, that's the reason we need this keratinized layer. Now you remember, now you understand what is keratinized layer. So if the keratinized layer is there, the name will be stratified squamous keratinized epithelium. Example, skin. And for the other places which we just said, it is non-keratinized epithelium. Okay. Okay, transitional epithelium, just let me show you quickly. So this is the topmost layer, the transitional layer. Okay, so transitional layer, like I said, the surface can be modified. It will show you a modify. Okay, so if it modifies on top, it becomes flat. It becomes flat. Okay, okay, it just becomes flat. And okay, let me show you. This is nice and rounded. This is nice and rounded shape on top. Okay, so this is because the urine is not filled. Okay, or it is empty urinary bladder, so it is rounded. But when the bladder is full of urine, it becomes flat. It will become more flat. It gets squeezed. Remember, as if it's getting squeezed, and it is called, it will be flat. Okay. Okay, now see the function of it. It allows distension of urinary organs. So these are some names. You can just remember urinary bladder for now. Later on, we will learn these also: calyces, pelvis, and ureter. Okay, urinary bladder is enough for you for remembering. So urinary bladder for transitional epithelium. Is it clear? Urinary bladder for transitional epithelium. Example. So change in the cell shape. When the urine fills, the surface cells begin to flatten and may resemble stratified squamous epithelium. So it will flatten and look like stratified squamous epithelium. Okay, and it is a protective osmotic barrier. Protective osmotic barrier between urine in the bladder and underlying connective tissue. What is the meaning of this? Anybody? Okay, what is the function of urinary bladder? Storage of urine. Storage of urine. Okay, so the urine, like imagine this is the urine over here. Okay, okay, what happens after that? The urinary bladder, what does it do? It will squeeze the urine. After that, it gets it's like an elastic. It collects urine. Okay, it stores urine. Okay, storage of urine, and then it is transported to the urethra. Okay, and it's expelled out. Okay, now imagine urine is over here. Okay, and this is the epithelium. Hadi epithelium, sir. What is below? This is the connective tissue. It's something below connective tissue, or also remember as lamina propria. Okay, or connective tissue. Connective tissue means what is underlying. Okay, now this urine. Okay, what will happen if the urine gets inside? It gets absorbed inside. We don't want this to happen. Sawallah, we want it to go out of the body. Okay, so this is the protection by this layer. Okay, so that's why it's called as osmotic barrier. It's osmotic barrier. It prevents the urine to be absorbed. It prevents the urine to be absorbed back to the body. It only allows it to be expelled out of the body. Is it clear? The meaning of osmotic barrier. Okay, so where is it? It's between the urine and the bladder and the underlying connective tissue. Okay, I hope, alhamdulillah, it's clear. Okay, now what else is there for you? This is self, you can study by yourself. Okay, what is it? You have summary. I have already put it like a table for you. Okay, maybe some details are there extra, but what you can focus on is, you can focus on, like I said, the type of epithelium and location. And please look into the actual slides in a simple squamous. I told you where exactly I said. Okay, and also I have given you the functions. Okay, and this is just the description of how it looks. I think now you know. You can even draw it over here just to practice. Okay, simple cuboidal, everything is here. Okay, so please do the self-learning for you. And related to the practical, inshallah, it is not going to be next week for this session. It will be in the 6th week. It will be in the 6th week. And the first 5 weeks is going to be general anatomy practical. After that will be the general histology, histology practical will start. Okay, so that time you will see it. I will ask you questions and you should remember everything and you should be answering everything. Okay, and that time I will show you the slides, not all the slides or all the photographs like some of you asked me, but some of them you should be able to. In an exam, I will show you the photo, I will ask you the type of epithelium, and I'll ask you the location. Okay, and if you want to improve your knowledge, you can learn the function. Okay, so these are the two things mainly. So I just want you to know the type of epithelium and the location. Is it clear? So this is don't worry now, it's only in your practical session, but this lecture will come for your first quiz, so please study it well. Understand? Inshallah, I will try to make some Google sheet for you, just to do revision. Picture important? Yes, I told you for practical. Inshallah, that's a totally different pictures. I will tell you which one. Okay, and alhamdulillah, I think everything is good. I think doctor will be waiting. I need to leave. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, I hope all of you benefited. Okay, please try to help each other and try to solve if you have any doubts. And if someone needs clarification in Arabic or something, please help each other. Okay, ma salama. See you later on, inshallah. Ma salama. Okay.